It took me about 17 years to fully understand what I'm about to break down to you in a couple minutes. And this is after reading every book I possibly could on mindset and personal development and just understanding how people work and trying to understand how my own thoughts work. Now, it's easy to believe that there's only one world. And the world that we believe in is the one that we see, which is our perspective. And our perspective is shaped by our life experience and what our parents' life experience was, and all of these combination of different things that shape our identity and how we view the world. But our way of seeing the world, your way of seeing the world, is completely flawed. It's not true. Really and truly, there are close to 8 billion worlds. There's 8 billion perspectives. And it's extremely difficult for us to actually think about that and fathom the fact that the way we see things is not how everybody sees things. Now, in the last couple months, in the last 6 months, I built up an Instagram account to about 116,000 followers. And I base my Instagram account on nothing but positivity. I'm trying to turn, videos and different situations and analogies into a positive outlook. I'm changing how, a particular situation is perceived by using my copywriting skills, which is the ability to persuade with words, to frame it in a positive light. Or sometimes I don't even have to frame it in a positive light. It's just a positive video, and I would put it out there. And it's kind of trippy having that many people on your platform, on your page, because whenever I open my IG, I see hundreds across the board. 100 people added me, 100 comments, 100 likes. That's the maximum it shows you. So I see the max almost every single time I open my IG. Now, what's crazy about that is that no matter what the video is that I put up, no matter what it's about, right, there's always somebody that has a negative perspective on whatever I put up. So I'll give you an example. There's a video of a kid, a 9-year-old kid. And this 9-year-old kid is basically running bases. As he's running bases, he's hyping himself up. He's going, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And he's hyping himself up. And to me, based on my perspective, I understand that to be positive self-talk. And so I'm like, that's dope. Here's this 9-year-old kid, and he can speak positively to himself to get himself hyped up. He has a great future ahead of him. Then I saw some dude leave a comment saying he's a disrespectful little boy and he should learn how to have some humility. And typically I don't let people get underneath my skin, but that really bothered me, because if that's how he feels about this child, I checked the dude's page and it was a grown man with gray hair. So he obviously probably has kids. So if that's how he feels about that kid, I could only imagine if he has that same mentality with his kids or his grandkids, and the damage he's doing to their minds by being so negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could crush somebody's dreams with those types of thoughts, and that's just his perspective. But his perspective has the ability to shape the young people, the younger generations in his life. It has the power to shape their perspective. I don't want to give people the opportunity to take my energy, so I pulled myself back. And then I actually started going through a lot of my comments, and I realized that, yeah, for the majority of people, they could see it. They could see that, what I'm trying to do with the content is just to spread positivity and to just be positive. But there's a certain section where no matter what I post, it's about 10% of people, no matter what I post, they'll always find a negative angle on it. And that's what you have to understand. Their lens that they see the world from is a negative lens. They see things as mostly negative based on their life experiences. And that's just how they see things. You might see the world in one particular way, and somebody else might see the world in another way. What you can't do is allow somebody's perspective, especially if it's a negative perspective, to affect your worldview, but also you don't want to necessarily get upset because people don't see things your way. I had a big problem with this.
Hi there, how's it going today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you for asking. What can I get you started with?
May I please have a grande caramel macchiato with coconut milk?
Alright, anything else for you today?
And could I also get a grande blonde with 2 inches of heavy cream steamed?
Steam. Alright.
And that's it. All right, thank you. Yeah, so I had a big problem with that because I would always expect people around me to see things the way I do. I'm a go-getter. I want to do well with my life. I get up early, I work out, I work hard. And whenever people didn't move like that, my first reaction was to judge them and be upset because why don't you think like me? Why don't you want to be better? Obviously, the way I see things is the correct way. What's your problem? Hello. You can keep a 5.
Pardon?
You can keep a 5.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem. My thing was always, what's your problem? Why don't you want to work as hard as me? And why don't you see things the way I see it? And I actually alienated a lot of people because of this, because I would kind of force my opinions down their throat. Matter of fact, it's something that I still struggle with. My personality type, we kind of see things in a certain way and think that we're right most of the time. And I am right most of the time. But, you know, it might not be from that person's perspective. And you got to understand that, too, that the way you see things is not how others see things. And it makes no sense trying to force your opinions or the way you do things down people's throat. It's not going to be received well. You're going to alienate a lot of people from you, and it just doesn't end well. So you just have to trust everybody to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have somebody in your life that isn't as ambitious as you, trust them to be themselves. But maybe it's your job to find people that are more ambitious to hang out with. If you have somebody that is hyper liberal and you're super conservative, there's no point in you trying to convince them, because nobody wants to be convinced of anything. When you try to change people's minds, they will always resent you, even if you're right. Even if you prove them wrong, you say, ha, I got you. My perspective was actually the correct perspective. They're still going to resent you. You're still going to have a problem on your hands. So you got to understand that everybody has their own perspective, their own worldview, and it's not your job to try to change it. I'll never forget when I first started my barber career, I had this dude come in the barber shop that I was working at. And he was a cool looking dude, you know what I mean? He came in with the yo, what's up? He gave me the dap and everything like that. And he seemed like he was a cool dude. And we got into talking basketball. And then he said that Tim Duncan had 6 championships. I knew that was wrong. So I corrected him. I said, yo, bro, Timmy's got 5. Now, I could have ended it at that, right? But he's like, nah, man, he got 6. And I was like, nah, Timmy's only got 5. And I wanted to prove him wrong. You know what I mean? I felt this strong desire to prove him wrong. And so I went around and I asked a couple people, and unanimously, everybody in the shop that understood basketball, that knew the truth, they were like, yeah, Timmy won 5. You know, this dude got real quiet for the rest of the haircut. And as soon as he got home, the first thing he did was give me a 1-star review. Said I didn't know how to cut hair. Had nothing to do with the haircut. It's because I proved him wrong. Now, I proved him wrong on something that was an actual fact, right? But a lot of times what we try to do is prove people wrong on ideology and perspectives. And whether it's a fact or it's just something that is your opinion, you're going to get the same result. So imagine this dude was so upset with me proving him wrong with facts that he went home and berated me online. Imagine how people are going to feel if you try to prove them wrong with your perspective, or you try to force your perspective or your worldview on them. That is not your business. If you understand this, if you understand that there are 8 billion worldviews, and you do your best to try to see things from other people's worldview instead of yours, that's going to put you levels above the majority of people, because almost nobody takes the time to try to look at things from other people's perspective. They're just trying to force their perspective down people's throat. And I learned this late in life after hurting a lot of relationships and alienated myself from people because I wanted to just be gung-ho and force what I thought and what I believed down people's throat. And as I got older and as I read a lot of books and started to actually try to understand people instead of trying to push my agendas and my beliefs down people's throats, I realized that there's 8 billion stories and mine is just one of them. And the best course of action is to try to understand everybody else's story, or understand the idea that they do have a story that's different from mine. So I hope that was useful to you, and I hope that will help you to change your perspective and understand that people are different, and there's no point in you trying to change their perspective. And it takes a higher level of emotional intelligence to look at things from their worldview. With all that being said, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.